Welcome back. It's episode 2. Today we're going over skin, gear, and affixes. So the first thing I want to do is just go over what you'd use to dye your skin and what you would do to roll affixes for your clothing. So for skin, you use something called dye or spray paint. But you use that, and every single usage rolls both the color of your skin and also if you have any affixes, which again are like buffs or bonuses for that unit that you're using. So they call it dyeing agent, my bad. But that is what you'd use, and you could acquire that through whether they have like events in the game that you earn it for free. If you buy them with your rubies, they're rather cheap in terms of materials in this game. And right here, I'm going to show you clothes themselves. So clothes, as you can see, they give you base stats. Now, this you can choose by hitting customize. So you hit customize and you would select the stats for the role that you're playing. So it even says in the bottom tip, typically a center would choose that stat, power forward that, small forward that, etc. So sometimes you actually won't take the recommended role for the stats. Like if you're playing point guard, typically you're going to value speed over anything else. So sometimes you'll end up taking like the shooting guard stat line rather than the point guard. That's rare. Usually it is what they recommend. So again, these all give base stats. Since I'm playing power forward, I'm just going to make every single one of these a power forward set. So I'm going through, I'm choosing those stats, and now they're being applied to the clothing. And again, this clothing you can put on anybody. I'm just putting it on this guy for the sake of the video. Ideally, I would not be using blue gear on this guy if he's like who I'm actually using. I'll get into that eventually, but right now I'm just showing you how to customize them and then to equip the skins. So now, say you want to enhance it. Well, enhancing it kind of shows you in the matrix there what enhancing it does. Enhancing it to level 2 or 2 stars adds an additional +2 dunk and +1 block. So it gives you a flat bonus every single time you upgrade it. And it's of course, dependent on the piece that you're upgrading. Each one has different stat lines. So it's not all the same stats it's giving. Each one has their own individual. So you would prioritize the stats that you want to get first. If you can't afford to do all of them, you do want to be mindful of which ones you're upgrading. And a rule of thumb is, say you want to, or you don't have enough to upgrade everything, you would start with giving each like a +2 bonus. Right now in the background, I'm just showing you that you can actually just use other clothes for appearance. If you don't like the way your skin looks or your clothes look, you can actually hide all of that and put on your own custom stuff just for the aesthetics, or just hide them and use the base skin. But anyway, here I'm showing you the strengthening. This is 100% guaranteed. As you get higher, like the higher upgrades, there's a percentage chance that it fails. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just showing you that you can enhance this. I'm probably going to enhance it once. I don't. Okay. So the next thing that you really want to see in this video is what dyeing your skin actually looks like. I don't really want to dye the skin because I don't plan on using Rocket, but I do want to show you. So this is the screen. And now here you see there's the option to lock the colors. So if you like the color of your skin, you would hit those so that you don't re-roll the color of the skin that you use. So that is when you would lock it. If you like just one color, you can have just one and it'll roll the other. So that's obvious. What you see underneath my character is it says proficient box out resistance, and then you can see the effect. So that's the buff that I rolled for this skin. And again, this skin is specific to this character. It's not transferable, it's only for Rocket in this skin. And here, it's really helpful. The game actually shows you what they would recommend as your best skin affixes. So if you don't know, like I don't know for power forward, I don't play this position. So it's really helpful for me to see what they would recommend and what other players use. So you can view all of that in that screen. And then also when you re-roll, like when you use a die, if you have one of the more popular options, it'll actually show you and indicate, in case you forget, which ones are more popular and which they recommend. I ended up rolling the same one, so at this point I'd just be confirming if I want the new appearance or my old. So obviously it's a moot point, I'm just going to keep the old. I think that other color was pretty hideous, so I don't know if I'm going to keep that. But yeah, anyways, that is what dyeing it looks like. I'm going to take a brief pause here and then get into the next section. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly show you where to get the spray paint. In this case, I'm a rookie, or this account is a rookie account, so I have access to really good deals. Like I get a free paint, there is a deal up there, 30 rubies for like 14 paints. This is the standard store. You still get a pretty good deal if you have this once a week. The dyeing agent, 8 of them for 20 rubies. Really, really inexpensive. So that is how you would acquire them aside from events, and they actually have an event right now. It's for spray paint. I think I must have acquired at least 15 just from like using spray paint. You acquire it that way. But they'll always be running events. It's rare that, you know, you'll have a hard time getting this stuff. It's just, again, matter of being patient. If you're patient, you'll get everything without having to pay. If you're impatient, you have to pay. But that's totally reasonable, right? Like, that's how most games work. So it's all about patience. Here, I'm just briefly going to touch on mastery. Mastery is something that's worth going over. It's something that a lot of people in the world chat ask questions about. So basically, as you use a character more, your mastery points go up. And that correlates directly with your performance. So like the better you perform, the faster you gain mastery points. And every time you gain like a tier of mastery, you gain flat bonuses. Like you can see there, mid shot +1, 3-point shot +1. So really, really important. All of these points matter. They're all meaningful. None of this stuff is like, you know, meaningless. It's 100% worth grinding it. You can do it in Street Legend, since it goes off of your performance. You can get really, really high performance numbers and just grind it out that way. Super boring, but it's definitely worthwhile. I'm also just going to show you, because this game is mostly a stat-based game, right? The clothing gives you stats, the mastery gives you stats. So in case you weren't aware, when you strengthen a unit, every single time you hit one of these cells, you're giving them an immediate stat upgrade. So as you can see, the last block here was +3 3-points, +2 mid-range shot, and +2 pass. This is vital. If you want to be competitive in the game, you have to have all of these upgraded. It's a priority. This is the thing that you should be using your resources on first. Like, and this is why having a C tier character versus an ace character, you're just at such a severe stat disadvantage. It's, you know, it's just never going to work out for you. And somebody did the math. I'm pretty sure if you want to go from C to ace, it would take around 90,000 gold. I think 55 gold upgrades and 155 blue upgrades. And then they did like the candy bars and the protein powder. I don't remember the specifics for that, but you know, that's like a roundabout. And you can buy the materials with diamonds. Also here, another thing that's not in the title, but really worth going over, picking an assist unit. So I'm going to show you here. When I select Fire King as my assist unit, first I get his talent, which is something you reroll with the talent refresh cards. And then you can see, okay, he's ace, so I'm getting +9, +6, +5. Well, if he was C, I would only be getting +3, +1. So when you're picking your assist units, if you don't have all aces, again, you're going to be at a super huge stat disadvantage. So, you know, you do want to have characters ace just to use as assist units. Even if you don't plan on using them, you know, they come in handy because you are going to want to use them as assist units. So that's why, like I was saying, it's kind of difficult to have an account that has every single role, because you just for every role need like 6-ish characters aced. So, you know, realistically, you're not going to have that. So I would say focus on one role at a time so you can have that role like at its best. And that's why you want to explore first and figure out what you want to main when you play the game. I'm just going over here with the skills that you can refresh, and they go up to level 3. Some of them go up to level 3, some go to level 2 only. This you can just look up as well. You can just look up a player who plays the character that you play, see the build that they use, and you just copy that. There's no need to try and theory craft yourself or, you know, figure that out. That's something that's just there for you to look at. So now I'm going to, oh, this is, by the way, if you haven't noticed, this is another account that I have. This is a higher rank account with like a more complete build. This is mostly a shooter account. Let's see, that's why I have Fire King. I have a ton of shooters that are aced. So I'm just going over right now the clothes that my Fire King is wearing, and I'm gonna pick up in a sec. Okay, so the last section is skin affixes. This part is actually really, really simple, but as a beginner or somebody who's just unfamiliar with the mechanics of the game, you're not gonna understand it at first. I wish I had a video to watch when I first learned the game, because I was so clueless and I wasted so many tokens, and you know, it becomes expensive. Like, I'm impatient. I'm happy to spend money on games I'm playing, so I was putting good money in, but it was just like, the progression was not there because I was not using my resources proper. So basically, your skin affixes are going to be the ways of, it's like the same thing as clothes affixes. Your clothes affixes are going to be the same thing as skin affixes, but unique to the clothes that you're wearing. So it's transferable. You can put those clothes on any unit that you want. But obviously, because you're choosing bonuses and you're choosing stats for the unit that's wearing the clothes, it's not going to be like good gear for everybody. Like typically, point guard gear is not going to be gear that you can put on a center, right? Because you're going to be looking for, like, on a point guard, speed, 3 points, passing, stealing, right? And then also the bonuses you're going to look for things like firefighter. It's something that helps your diving ability. So that stuff is not good on a center. A center doesn't want to be fast. A center doesn't want to have good stealing typically. Some of them have stealing abilities, but not most. So, you know, you basically want to have gear for your role. I'm showing you here the gear that I have on my shooting account. You can see that most of it is orange. Orange is the highest tier, purple is second highest, blue is the lowest. So I'm showing you here the actual fixes that players use for the character that you're on, or the role that you're playing. So here you can see the fixes that they use in these plans are Sniper, Lone Wolf, Hunter, and there's a variation of those based on the plan that you go to. They're all very, very similar. The only thing it doesn't show you is the kind of stats that they usually hold on to, which is nice to know, because if you're new to the game, you don't necessarily know what stats you want. You can see on my shooters, I have all shooting points, sometimes speed, but it's all going to be stuff geared around shooting. I'm just showing you in this page where or how to acquire the tokens used. You can exchange stuff, like you can exchange your materials, and as you can see, there's a cap to it, so you can't like infinitely do it with all of your materials. There's a cap, but this is how you exchange for it. In addition to this, you can just spend money on getting them, or they have events like they have right now, recasting events, where they give you a free set, you know, per event. I think it's usually close to 100, maybe it's slightly more, I haven't counted, but yeah, it's how you reach it. It's how you acquire them. Using them, it really is as simple as just going off of the recommendations from other players, like the actual fixes that they use. And in terms of the skill, like the suit attributes itself, you typically, well, that's more important. Like, you definitely want to prioritize, like say you're playing a shooter, 3 points are going to be way more important than having the best in slot suit affix. You know, it's almost always going to be better to have like okay suit affixes, but really good attributes. So I would focus more on maxing out your suit attributes. I don't know if I explained this, but orange is the highest. That means like you can get plus 24 on orange. Purple is the second highest. So on purple, you can only get plus 21 on your stats. And blue, I think, goes up to plus 19 or plus 18. I could be off. I don't have any blue sets that I have like fixes on. But yeah. I also, like, of course, a lot of people do, like, I know plenty of people who have spent money just to get perfect gear. Like, everything is perfect, everything is best in slot, like the highest suit attributes, all of the perfect affixes. Like, you definitely could do that, but realistically, like, once you get a gear pretty good, you should just move on to the next, because it's like you lose a lot of value just like continue to reroll the same set of gear. Unless you're like top 10 of the ladder, it's usually not going to matter anyway. So like, just focus on getting the gear pretty solid with really good stats. And the attributes itself, of course, you want to have good ones, but if you have just okay ones and you have really good suit attributes, you know, that's always going to be more valuable. So just keep that in mind and just really take the time to look through other people's gear. Like, you want to see other people's setups, right? As you can see here, I'm re-rolling them. I'm trying to see what I'm getting. I, of course, want to get 3 points as I do. Like you can see, I have plus 22. Oh, so I guess purple goes up to plus 22. There's plus 21. See, you just learned something. But I'm re-rolling in real time, right? And you can see how I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm going to choose the stats almost every time as long as they're better. Yeah, and that's how that goes. So that's suit affixes. I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, so in closing, I would recommend that you 100% work on your gear before anything else. You know, gear is going to be your highest value investment when you're first starting out. Of course, if you have unlimited resources, then upgrade everything and do everything. But if you have to focus on one thing, focus on your gear. And then, of course, at that point, you can work on your skin affixes. And that's really only going to be like once you know who your favorite characters are. Like, I can't tell you how many spray paints I've used on characters I thought I'd like, and then I ended up never playing. And now I have all these characters that I want affixes on for the skins, but I wasted hundreds on others. So it's like, if I can go back in time, of course, like, I said of course a lot. Okay, that's my new resolution is not to say of course in the next video. So if I say of course next video, you can shoot me. But anyways, yeah, good luck.